A WNBA owner just did what no one in the league has had the courage to do. While the commissioner dances around the question and the media plays it safe, one owner looked at the camera and said it plainly. Caitlin Clark is the best player in the league. Not one of the best, not a generational talent, the best, period. The announcement has sent shockwaves through the WNBA, and the reaction from fans, players, and the front office? Nobody saw this coming.
Well, I mean, first of all, I have great respect for Fee, and I think she made a lot of very valid points. And, I think what people need to understand, we need great leadership in this time across all levels. This is straight up the most important moment in this league's history, what this league's been around.
For years, the WNBA has danced around the question, who is the best player in the league? The media has their favorites, the fans have their debates, the players have their opinions. But the league office? They've stayed silent, neutral, safe. Until now. A WNBA owner just did what no one else had the courage to do. She looked at the camera, spoke plainly, and made a declaration that has sent shockwaves through the basketball world. Caitlin Clark is the best player in the league. Not one of the best, not a generational talent, the best, period. The announcement came during a press conference that was supposed to be about something else entirely. The owner was fielding questions about the upcoming season, about free agency, about the team's championship hopes. Then, a reporter asked the question everyone was thinking, but no one was saying. Where does Caitlin Clark rank among the current players in this league? The owner paused, smiled, and then dropped the bomb. She's the best. I don't think it's particularly close anymore. What she does on the court, the shooting, the passing, the gravity, nobody else can do that. She's changed the way the game is played. That's what the best player does. The room went silent. Reporters looked at each other. Cameras zoomed in. Phones started buzzing. Because this wasn't a fan with a hot take. This wasn't a media personality trying to generate clicks. This was an owner, someone who signs the checks, someone who has watched every player in the league up close, someone who has nothing to gain by stirring up controversy. And she just crowned Caitlin Clark the queen of the WNBA. The reaction was immediate. Within minutes, the clip was everywhere. Twitter exploded. Podcasts scrambled to react. Fans took sides. Some celebrated the validation. Others argued that the owner was disrespecting other superstars like A'ja Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Alyssa Thomas. But here's the thing about the owner's comments that everyone missed. She didn't just say Clark was the best, she explained why. It's the gravity, the owner said. Defenses don't guard anyone else the way they guard her. She pulls defenders 15 feet from the basket. She creates space for everyone else. That's not just scoring, that's changing the entire geometry of the game. That's not opinion, that's observation. And it's an observation that more and more people in the league are starting to agree with. But saying it out loud, in public, as an owner, that took courage. And the backlash was exactly what you'd expect.
The moment the clip hit social media, the WNBA world split in half. One side celebrated. Finally, someone with authority had said what they'd been thinking. Caitlin Clark isn't just the future of the league, she's the present, the best player on the planet right now. The other side was furious. How dare an owner dismiss the accomplishments of A'ja Wilson, the two-time MVP, the Defensive Player of the Year, the champion, the player who has been dominating this league for years? How dare she ignore Breanna Stewart, the Finals MVP, the Olympic gold medalist, the player who can do everything on a basketball court? How dare she overlook Alyssa Thomas, the triple-double machine, the defensive nightmare, the player who does things no one else can do? Let me read you some of the reactions. One fan wrote, Caitlin Clark is amazing, but A'ja Wilson is the best player in the league until someone takes that crown from her. She's won everything. Clark hasn't won anything yet. This owner is delusional. Another posted, "I love Caitlin Clark, love her, but this is disrespectful to every other superstar in the league. Breanna Stewart has been doing this for years. Alyssa Thomas is a triple-double threat every night. Clark has played 2 seasons. Plump the brakes." And then there were the former players. One retired all-star tweeted, "I respect the owner's right to an opinion, but opinions aren't facts. A'ja Wilson is the best two-way player in the league. Caitlin Clark is the best offensive player. There's a difference, and defense wins championships." Another wrote, "The Caitlin Clark hype has officially gone too far. She's great. She's not even close great. There are at least 3 players who have arguments over her. This owner is just trying to sell tickets." But here's the thing about the backlash. It proved the owner's point. Because when you declare someone the best, people get emotional. They defend their favorites. They point to accomplishments. They argue about stats and championships and two-way play. But nobody, not one person, argued that Clark isn't in the conversation. And that's the point the owner was making. Clark has played 2 seasons. 2, and she's already in the conversation with players who've been dominating for a decade. That's not hype, that's reality. One fan summed it up perfectly. "The fact that we're even having this debate proves the owner is right. 2 years ago, this wasn't a debate. A'ja was the clear best. Now, there's an argument, and the only thing that changed is Caitlin Clark." The owner's declaration didn't settle the debate, it inflamed it. And honestly, that's exactly what she wanted. While fans and former players argue about opinions, let me show you the numbers. Because the owner didn't make her declaration based on feelings, she made it based on facts. Let's start with scoring. In 2025, despite missing 27 games due to injury, Caitlin Clark averaged 25.3 points per game when she played. That led the league. Not among rookies, not among guards, the entire league. Now, three-point shooting. Clark shot 42.7% from beyond the arc on over 9 attempts per game. No one in WNBA history has ever done that. Not Diana Taurasi, not Sue Bird, not anyone. Assists? 8.4 per game, second in the league, and she did that while defenses sold out to stop her. But here's the stat that the owner was really talking about when she mentioned gravity. Clark's on-off court numbers are absurd. When she's on the floor, the Fever's offensive rating jumps by 18 points. When she sits, it drops by 22 points. That's not a player, that's a system. One analytics expert put it this way: Caitlin Clark creates advantages that don't exist for anyone else. Defenders have to guard her from 30 feet. That means the help defense is stretched thin. That means role players are open. That means everyone eats. No other player in the league creates that kind of spacing. Now let's compare her to the other candidates. A'ja Wilson averaged 24.8 points, 10.2 rebounds, and 2.8 blocks per game. Incredible numbers, Defensive Player of the Year caliber. But Wilson doesn't create offense for others the way Clark does. She's a finisher, not a creator. Breanna Stewart averaged 22.1 points, 8.5 rebounds, and 3.2 assists. Elite two-way player. But Stewart has never led the league in scoring or assists. She's great at everything, but not the best at anything. Alyssa Thomas averaged 11.2 points, 9.8 rebounds, and 8.1 assists. A triple-double machine. But Thomas can't shoot. Defenses don't guard her beyond 15 feet. That's a fatal flaw in today's game. Clark? She has no fatal flaw. She can shoot from anywhere. She can pass to anyone. She makes everyone around her better. One fan put it perfectly. A'ja is the best interior player, Stewie is the best two-way player, AT is the best passer, but Caitlin is the best basketball player. There's a difference. The owner's declaration wasn't about disrespecting the legends. It was about recognizing that a new legend has arrived, and the numbers back her up. The owner's declaration sparked a firestorm among fans and former players. But what about the current players, the ones who actually guard Caitlin Clark night after night? Their answers might surprise you, because while fans argue about who's the best, the players who have to stop Clark have been quietly admitting the truth for months. Let me read you what some of them have said. One all-star guard, who asked to remain anonymous, told a reporter, "She's the hardest player in the league to guard. It's not even close. You can't relax for a second. She'll pull up from 30 feet. She'll throw a no-look pass you didn't even know was available. She's a nightmare." Another veteran forward said, "I've guarded everyone. Diana, Candace, Brianna, Asia. Caitlin is different. The others you can scheme for. You can double them. You can force them into tough shots. Clark, she creates advantages that don't exist. You're always one step behind." And then there's what Sophie Cunningham said on her podcast, the comment that got her in trouble with some former players, but resonated with everyone who's actually played against Clark. "It literally pisses me off when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league. You're dumb as shit. You're literally dumb as fuck." Cunningham wasn't just being provocative. She was being honest. Because the players who have to guard Clark know the truth. The fans who watch her know the truth. The media who cover her know the truth. But saying it out loud, in public, as an owner, that's different. One current All-Star, who has won championships and MVP awards, was asked directly about the owner's comments. Her answer was careful, diplomatic, but telling. "Caitlin is an incredible player. She's changed the game. I respect what she does. But I think there's more to basketball than just offense. Defense matters. Winning matters. And until she wins a championship, I think the conversation is incomplete." That's fair. That's reasonable. That's the kind of answer you expect from a veteran who has earned her place in the conversation. But notice what she didn't say. She didn't say Clark isn't the best. She didn't say Asia or Stewie or AT is better. She just said the conversation is incomplete. Because even the players who might disagree with the owner's declaration can't bring themselves to say Clark isn't in the conversation. That's how good she is.
So where does this leave us? A WNBA owner did what no one else in the league had the courage to do. She looked at the camera and declared Caitlin Clark a best player in the league. Not one of the best, not a generational talent, the best, period. The backlash was immediate. Fans argued, former players pushed back, the media debated. But here's the truth that nobody's talking about. The owner wasn't trying to settle the debate. She was trying to start one. Because here's the thing about the WNBA. For years, the league has been afraid of controversy, afraid of bold statements, afraid of declaring anyone the best because someone else might get offended. That's changing. Caitlin Clark has forced the conversation. Her play has made it impossible to ignore. And now, finally, someone in power has said what millions of fans have been thinking. The owner's declaration wasn't about disrespecting Asia Wilson or Brianna Stewart or Alyssa Thomas. It was about recognizing that a new standard has been set. Clark does things no one else can do. She shoots from distances that were previously unthinkable. She passes to spots that didn't exist before she arrived. She creates advantages that break traditional defensive schemes. That's not hype. That's evolution. And evolution requires recognition. One analyst put it perfectly. The WNBA has never seen a player like Caitlin Clark. Not Diana, not Sue, not Candace, not Asia. Clark is fundamentally different. She's changed the way the game is played. That's what the best player does. That's why she's the best player. The debate will continue. Fans will argue, former players will push back. The media will keep debating. But the truth is becoming harder to deny. Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA. Not because she's won the most championships, not because she's been in the league the longest, because she does things no one else can do, because she changes the geometry of the game, because every team that plays her has to game plan specifically for her and still can't stop her. The owner said it out loud. Now the rest of the league has to live with it. So here's what I need from you. If you made it to the end of this video, you just watched a WNBA owner break the unwritten rule. She said the quiet part out loud. She declared Caitlin Clark the best player in the league. Fans are furious, former players are pushing back, the debate is raging. But the truth is becoming harder to deny. Caitlin Clark is changing the game, and one owner had the courage to say it. Subscribe, hit that bell icon, because when the debate finally settles, and it will, you're going to want to be here to watch history be written. The owner spoke, the debate exploded. But Caitlin Clark, she's just getting started. I'll see you in the next one.